Lama kunchu san la hyang tsai lo do yen sem chen tam chi Dzogchen la pan zet da so susun du nga chen da che jin chen nyar so me kong hiwa jil la so sem chen tam da nyar da dang chen na tam ba nam jin nin tsar da so may all the transmigrations to be free from cause and effect of the sufferings. May all the transmigrations to have cause and effect of the happiness. In order to do that, or for that, we are studying Dharma, and according to the genuine teaching of the Buddha, he's talking about the liberation, and also so the liberation is, of course, occur in the mind, and maybe and during the discourse, or it's a period during the different chapters, and we studied a lot different information, particularly about Buddha's teaching, and it is, or they are very important, of course, if we know all of them. And but the more important is how much really benefit for our mind, and also how much really we can to apply to practice, like kind of the practical way or the technically, how we can to use in the daily life, and also how we can to deal with daily our life, and during the 4 activities: eating, sleeping, working, and sitting. How we can connect our daily life to the Buddha's teaching. And of course, when we look at according to the Buddha's teachings, the 3 Pitakas, and according to the Suttayanas, or the Abhidhammayanas, and we're talking about more causalities, and also discipline, and all those discipline and causalities, how much we understood, how much we have faith, trust, and truly to understand. Maybe sometimes we are looking for true nature of the realities, but maybe we forgot it, like a basic, most important part of the causalities, discipline, and this sort of. And also true nature of realities is the universal ground of the positive and negative. And of course, if we realize that true nature of the reality, and we become same as the true nature of the reality, and in that perspective, we call the liberations. What means is the liberations? That means it's like our mind is become very much tolerant. Our mind is become very open. Our mind is very much suitable, workable, peace, and calm, cooling. And that is like a liberation. Really it is. Yes, the true nature of the realities, when we are analyze, follow up the philosophical tenets, use the different syllogism terminologies, when we are to establish is the true nature of the reality is inconceivable. Maybe may you think, I don't know it is the true nature of the reality. What do you mean, true nature of the realities? It's very easy, very simply. We have kind of questions. Yes, you do not understand, that's true. But any perspective of this in the relative perspective or relative phenomena perspective, even the relative your body, speech, mind's perspective. Your mind, verb, body, these three are is you can to say yourself. Then it's like you perceive some form, sound, smell, taste that are the more object. Generally speaking, we ourselves, our body, verb, mind looks like existence, real, truth, permanent, something. That we have idea 100%. When we receive this object, we say the 5 object desirables, also looks like real existence, touchable, testable, and like listenable or like something like this. And this is like without analysis, just normal, like kind of the confusion perspective. But where they are come from, can you say? You should to need to give me answer where they are come from, where they are budding, where they are going to, which kind of destination. You cannot find answer. Exaggerations, maybe you can to say this and that. It is obvious. It's come from itself. And seed is when we put in the ground and certainly grow up. Very funny things. Small seeds, huge result. When you look at this seed, during the seed, oh, this is Ashoka tree's seed, you don't believe. Ashoka tree is the most biggest tree in this world. Very huge. It is completely grow up. 100 people can go under the shadows under these trees. Very big tree. And the seed, when you look at the seed, may be more small than the sesame seed. And this seed, when we look, and in this seed, there is the huge trees can grow up. How you can to say? There are something is like inconceivable. The seed itself has these abilities. These seeds produce the tree seed itself. And it's maybe we can to say the conditions, fertilizers. No. Seed itself produces seeds. A big tree or small, anyway, seed need to grow up seed itself. Why my meaning is like this? everything is come from itself. Not necessarily to created by the sun. Or maybe you can to say create by the four element. That there's big problems. Where are the four element, five elements come from? Each other, or where is the come from? And maybe five elements come from the space. Where is come from the space? If there's no five element, maybe no space. And maybe it's like we can to say it's like produce each other. Produce each other at beginning, which is the really the primary source. And then there are surely something. There is one like kind of the big things produced. No. And itself, that is the main point. Itself. According that, we can to apply our path, liberation path. Because in our mind itself has itself nature. This nature is not provided by the Buddha or God. Not installed something come from other things or other someone's. Itself has a nature. Past also come from that. Present is come from that. Future is from that. Itself is not. We cannot to say the past, present, futures. This kind of inconceivable. That is. It doesn't matter positive occur, negative, or death, or birth, old age. It's never kind of damaged, if never kind of the clean it. No need to clean it. Trillions Buddhas coming, want to cleanse. What do you mean we can to say? There's nothing need to clean. Trillions samsaric sentient beings come to say we want to make dirty. No. Obviously we look at the water, any kind of things. We can make dirty, we can do dirty, clean. But there are something essential. Dirty water can clean. How? Clean water become the dirty. How? Can you see this between there's something? Maybe we can do exaggerate it, but I'm not sure. But there is, in the Buddhas, he says the true nature of the reality. That is we are searching this in order to find or to make the manifestation. We need to follow up the guideline of the Buddha's teaching, Buddha's message, or follow up the Buddha's feet, step. And then is what my meaning is, okay, we studied, yes, maybe it's you not much study education from me, but you yourself, you studied a lot. You reading book, get information, and like each word by word, and sentence by sentence, verse by verse. Wonderful. For example, in the liberation's path, and you studied the 10 positive action, 4 boundless qualities, and the 6 transcendent perfections, 4 concentrations, and 4 formless state, sustained, calm, and profound insight. Surely you have in memorized the terminology. When I say how are the 10 positives, you just kind of reading, give explanation. It's wonderful you have knowledge, but how much we are follow up. And like when in the 10 positive actions, the first is say, do not to harm to others. Are you really to practice or not? Do not hurting to the other sentient beings. If we do not practice, then which kind of use for this notion? You have this knowledge or not, you have knowledge exactly the same. If you do not practice, hey, I studied 10 positive action, wonderful. I know I don't want to hurting to the others. I studied this one, it's really truth. And if I'm hurting to the others, it is negative. It's negative for me and negative to others. I understood, therefore, I don't want to hurting to the others. Maybe if you really to study very well, if you really, this teaching is bring into your mind. Maybe according to sometimes your disturbed emotions, maybe when you have enemies, or you remember these enemies, you want to do something, maybe kill, destroy, if bad wish something, immediately antidote, I cannot to think that. Then which kind of am I Dhamma practitioners? It's not good. And it's a Buddha says like you have this kind of malice mind, maliceless or malice. It's kind of the negative mind. It's this idea. Maybe you have one enemy, you thinking, oh, very bad. Maybe I want to kill, or this person be better to disappear, this beings sick or ill or disappear. I'm very happy. Maybe how I can to beat, killing, use which kind. If you have this kind of idea, okay, thoughts, you can to think reality. Maybe this your enemy, nothing problem, but we make a problem ourselves. And according these ideas, and you are like kind of the destroying your own positive things, put a lot of negative habitual tendencies, and comes from the obscuration. Your mind is more and more dull, stupid, and more disturbed emotions. And that's if you want, of course, we can to say, yeah, why not? I cannot to give up. Okay, you don't need to give up, but you worse and worse, 100%, they guarantee. But sometimes it says like, I cannot, then it's of course you can't. Buddha, if we can to follow the Buddha and Bodhisattvas, great practitioners, they never says, I won't try. Today I can't, but tomorrow I will do. Yesterday I can't, but today, why not? And then they analyze, yes, like a kind of in a Tibet you says, not only like for example, in the carpenters, when it's like make the soft for the wood, and then they check and they make there's some special machines to make it very soft, and even you can't see sometimes they feeling to check to make soft like this. And the rough, ugly thoughts in your coming into your mind, true harming thoughts, malicious thoughts, and negative thoughts towards beings, and immediately to recognize, because I started 10 positive action, and now is the time I need to apply. That is, I need. Okay, you immediately change. Then it's like kind of recognize it. It's disappeared. It also doesn't habitual make patterns into our mind. And same as the like a kind of thief, stolen things. Maybe before you are each moment you kind of, when you say it's like stolen things, how much last time we studied? Direct, indirect, forcefully, or cheatingly, manipulatively, and like there's many different type of the like kind of the stolen, taking, like kind of the without giving or taking others like a purpose, how do you say, a project positions positions, and these things, each moment is like things says, I don't want really. Maybe it's even the great practitioners, if you empty place you found maybe 100 notes of the money, and they says in the Dharma teachings, you pick up, you need to look at the round, and then it's nobody's there. Maybe you found, you cannot to say happily I found this one, whoever honors, please to come, I give you back. And then it's nobody's there. Then say, please to give me now. And then they take. Then of course nobody, but you really purely found it. But you need to say, really good practitioners. In the worldly, have you seen in the, it's in the YouTube. These days, funny persons, they kind of the check into the how much is the people's tricky and liar and the like a thief each moment. Like there's one is a guy, he's wearing the like this kind of, is this sort of, and then he's going to, and he's carrying 150 notes. And whoever nears coming, excuse me, can you change? I have 5 notes. Can you change this one? I want to do something. Said, someone says really say yes. What do you want? Say, like I need a coin. Say, then they says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coin. Okay, you got it. Okay, so, and then put, and then it's going. And certainly, of course, very embarrassing things. And he took out, hey, excuse me, I'm not blind. My nose is not 5. My nose is 50. And it's very embarrassing. Someone is like, yes, but this is not 5. Do you understand? 15 notes. You cannot say it's like, do you need 5? Sometimes they give, sometimes says you need. Then there's many differences, naturally, automatically. And like this is, if you are Dharma practitioners, really we need to taking care of these things. It's really when we be alone in this kind of situations. And Patrul Rinpoche says, when you be alone, you taking care hands. That means there's a lot of things easily. For example, sometimes I don't want to say educated, sometimes civilizations, someone's going in the shop, they all the time is put in the pack pens, notebook, and some chocolate and this thing. Maybe it's like no educated. If you say why not? It's just you're lucky. But for you Dharma practitioners, no, you say it's instead of doing that, I can to bake. It's why not? There's many millions of beggars. And why not? If I beg to receive, it's a pew. And instead to stealing. And maybe you used to go to took maybe one piece of the chocolate, the repayment may be inconceivable. And therefore, then it's like a kind of we follow up the really to this, like we studied 10 positive action, we follow daily to practice like this, and then you are the Bodhisattva. You are the path of the liberation. Really, it's like in this world, best person is you are. Even if you keep the 10 positive actions, really that is maybe enough for the liberation path. And of course, top of there is the 4 boundless qualities. 4 boundless qualities is also occurring into our mind. And mind is connected to the 4 boundless qualities. And then is a mind order to the body and the verb. And that verb and also body is connect to the four boundless qualities. Then is liberation, perfect path, there is. And also we can to say loving kindness. Yeah, loving kindness. I know, loving kindness. What do you mean, no? Maybe your favorite, you kind of say it's lover, say. Maybe your father, mother, boyfriend, girlfriend, and your children say, yeah, I have love and kindness to them, say. I'm not sure that is also why. Ordinary perspective, why you love to them, love kindness, because also you receive some benefit. You expecting, I love them because they maybe can to support me in the perspectives. But that is like kind of your desire, attachment, loving kindness. If there are something such a problem, you need to help to them, you need to become kind to them, and then you need a little bit effort, maybe you don't want to do it. Then it's like not really loving kindness. For example, loving kindness comes from the really deeply to understand. It is the Buddha says, you take example yourself, then you to think about other sentient beings. Really to come in the feel. Like for example, even your relatives, friends, and societies. And you think they are connected to me. I want to help to them. Because easy when someone's connect to you. How I will become the loving kindness. How I want to become the cheerful. How I can. If we cannot to like to do it, I can't do it. Then why we follow the Dharma? If someone says, okay, then I want to give up, then or better to give up, follow to the other spiritual friend path. If you cannot to say like this is then I cannot practice for boundless qualities. It's like kind of to all the time concerning to the other sentient beings. I'm tired, and okay, there's no liberation, 100%. Or I cannot to practice that, then I cannot to liberate, and I cannot want to follow them. Okay, yes, much better. You follow up that, study, okay, you know the four boundless qualities. Oh, what are they? Oh, your loving kindness, or rejoice, or joy, compassion, equanimity. That's yeah, wow. Why you call the boundless qualities? Oh yeah, if someone has it is such has a quality, thinking of the boundless sentient beings, thinking of the boundless benefit, boundless. Yes, yeah. I know. Did you practice? Yes, difficult. I can't to practice that. Then what is this knowledge? Nothing. For example, I want to say a little science knowledges. I'm not criticizing science. It's a scientific. They have such knowledge. Okay, it's inconceivable. They have knowledge. The material levels, they are really like level of the Buddha. But I don't know these things. They can create the atom bombs. The creator is a huge creation of the atom bomb. It's a French guy. He died. Before he died, such a regret. He's sending message, do not create any atom bombs by the science. Finally, conclusions is nothing the liberation, but huge negative things created. And there's no liberation. I don't know. Maybe some science be liberation. I don't know. But if someone has such compassion, for example, if you go to in some Buddhist countries, maybe Buddha himself, and another in India masters, Nangachuna, Asangas, and those can create the such, different any kind of weapons. They never created. Never. Even you go to in Tibet, Longchenpa, Mawang Rinpoche, Tsongkhapa, those like a kind of the enlightened, they can to create whatever. But this kind of part, even they lose their life, even they lost their territory, even they lost, they never created, because it's the such it's negative things. Even in Tibet, like a kind of they never teach you the the yoga exercise, you know, connect to the Bindu channel, like kind of this kind of, you can to see like a more yoga's exercise. I want to say like channels and airs and the bindus. Why? Because if you become the familiarities, it's quite dangerous. Like same as the in the kung fu. Like for example, in China, Buddhism came early. They have also Dzogchen teaching. They begin with the monks very much. They are like secretly practice. They are such like enlightened masters. But then in China, there is a lot of robbers, killers. They go to the monastery, they beat the monks, they destroy the monastery like this. Then the master, that teacher, student ask, maybe we can to protect ourselves. Then this time is a robber came to monastery, they killed all the monks, and then what can we do? Of course we cannot. And then they teach to really to protect yourself. How to protect this. Then there's the Qigong, Teichus, like Chuan said. And the beginning, if you use the stick or knife, something, to even the robber you kill, you are not anymore monk. They kick out, of course, very bad. And you need to only protect yourself. Then it's become more profound, they used. Of course, in the monastery is no problem, but some is the, criminals, army, police, and then it's like robbers. They go to manipulately to study in the monasteries. Then they go back. Then they're using this weapon through the others, and then they are like kind of the very difficult, and they can to become like such criminals. And it's like difficult to catch even them like this, easily to kill the others. You just do like this, then you can to kill. And like this is like some even that this sort of not common to teach, because you do is negative things. And therefore, like when you practice the four boundless qualities, how much this subject matter arrive into our heart, our mind. I'm really very much is like a kind of honest. If we haven't got really difficult to practice these four boundless qualities, loving kindness, loving kindness, loving kindness, and sometimes we say I cannot to practice, then why you are follow the Buddha Dharma? It's like it's a very once I'm saying it's like okay, you cannot practice. Better to change other things. This is no change, but then we need to practice. If you really to say many great lamas saying it's like when you are talking about delicious food, it's nothing enough for you. When you're hungry times, someone's talking about very delicious. Look, they are cooking for so much delicious. Maybe someone's bring in the front of your table so many delicious, but if you cannot eat, and then what is this delicious food? For you it's useless, because it's delicious. You talk, it doesn't come into the stomach. Then talking about delicious, what is the benefit? Like this, they say it's maybe delicious food of the Dharma. You should to eat. You need. Like this, the four like boundless qualities of the Dharma, it is extraordinary delicious food. It can bring the, like kind of satisfaction of the liberation. And then it's like we are really to practice loving kindness, choice, rejoice. For example, some others like be happy, some others like kind of the study, practicing. and kind of become rich, some worldly like kind of happiness, how much you rejoice. If we are look at someone is like maybe happy, yeah, this person's happy, I'm not. And this person is steady, I don't. And this person's understanding, like there's a kind of jealousy, rivalry, and others a little bit getting better. Such a kind of there's no nothing smell of the rejoice. Then is you know the knowledge of the rejoice, which kind of benefit. Yeah, I know the boundless qualities of the rejoice, but it doesn't affect to our mind and useless. Absolutely. And also for boundless qualities of the compassion. Compassion, it's like kind of compassion means, for example, if you see the rich, wow, nice. It's made this person's more rich. They are very happy, wonderful. And if you see the suffering sentient beings, what can I do? Maybe can I do something? If verbally, mentally, physically, and you're not kind of the like just to equanimity, like kind of ignored or something. Maybe can I do something? And if someone has like kind of the disturbed emotions, very maybe it's like a very much disattachment, very much aggressive, very much stupidities. You never kind of say, yeah, this sentient beings like this, this person's very aggressive, very stupid, very like kind of the greedy person. Say, you never concern you like this. Compassion. Say, this person has lot of aggressive, and I need a compassion. Or this person has a lot of greedy, means disattachment. You need a compassion to kind. Then sometimes say, too much, this person has a lot of disattachment, like to put into the like kind of insult, then your compassion's where is gone. And also this person's may be very ignorant with whatever study things, very stupid, but you says, so stupid, forget it, go away. Never says. And even you need to say help to the 100 times, repeat again. You need it to do like this. Then if you like kind of nothing is very stupid, I don't want to be there, then where is the compassion? Therefore sometimes like kind of worst sentient beings, why you say the worst sentient beings here? Because of the disturbing emotions. And these disturbing emotions is too strong, and then we call these beings as bad. Sometimes say the appearance is bad. Sometimes say the children's bad. Sometimes husband bad, wife's bad, or it's my friend is bad. Bad means it's like this person itself, maybe body, verb, it's mentally same. What do you mean bad? Different of the disturbing emotions. We have disturbing emotion. There's a degree. Someone has lesser disturbing emotion. Someone has very strong disturbing emotions. Maybe someone's totally under the disturbing emotions. And in this case, for example, in our sometimes Westerns, children's sometimes fed up the parents. Oh, my parents. Maybe there is surely you have bad parents. But when you really through the look at the compassion perspective, your parents is absolutely slave of the disturbing emotions. Maybe they have a great desire attachment, doing ugly things for the children. They have great hatred, angry. All the times they are nervous, depressed, anxieties, and they cannot do nothing other but then make bad for the children. They love very much, but they do this. And if they are very stupid, they wrong educations. For themselves very arrogantly say, I'm a parent, you are my child. I need to give you education. I'm a boss. Boss is very stupid. But then it's like they love very much, but they think I'm good. They like kind of, this kind of people, many. I am good, others are bad. We are all the time concerning that. This is the normal. Each single human being is concerning that. I am good. I give advice. I told to them. I say like this. Then is the finger first time putting outside, the certain finger to turn yourself. Then we need to think. So you give advice. Patrul Rinpoche says, when you give advice, first time you check. When you give advice, others listen to you, and first time looks like, but inside big teasing. And this person said, but look, this person itself. And like this, first time to contact, some people say like this, most stupid like me, like giving advice. One is like a student really direct talk to me. When you say something, it's like really, it's nice things, looks like that is your give advice, yes. But how about yourself? Then I'm laughing. It's truth. Give really very wonderful. And this perspective, many stupid persons, they give advice to others. I'm right. I am all the time thinking I am okay. I did. Then it's you listen. And I told. I give advice. I said like this. I done like this. Then it's like that means it's we need to listen to you like this. But reality, maybe it's like to check our own self. Maybe like this. In this perspective, we need compassion. Do not need to become angry to say, oh yes, you told me. But inside maybe you have kind of, but according to the compassion. Someone you need to listen, If you don't listen, these persons become very sad, very angry and disappointment. Then you say, oh yes, that's right, you are correct. Oh yeah. Then it's a little bit release and a little bit while happy. And then you have compassionate persons, they do like this. Maybe some in the chance you have correct, they correct. No chance, they never correct. Because if you correct, the person becomes sad, angry. You all the time criticize to me. I am right, say. And in this case, compassion is okay, yes, sorry. They never correct. Then if you have compassion, these situations, you need to, this person's disturbing emotions. Maybe this person's not bad, but disturbing emotions strong. Then there's ignorance, jealousy, and so on coming. And we are doing like this, really or not? And equanimity said, beginning we are like according the pit instructions, we studied equanimity. Really to equanimity, we analyze my family, my enemies. Okay, there is your families. Maybe one your family, one your enemy is coming together. Maybe your family, your enemies is the best friend, and coming to you, and maybe it's like to kind of the refuge in you. Then is you say, I am a follower of the Buddha. I'm practicing Buddha Dharma. Okay, now I have such kind of equanimity, compassion. And then these two persons coming. You have discriminating wisdom. That is my relative. This is my enemies. And in this moment, you can to help. You can to kind of to support to them. Both you have this facility. But you have inside a dualistic mind. Our mind is not mixed. Maybe you more direction of your relatives. And this enemy side, maybe you have you want not. There is some partialities. If you have partialities, then there is no compassion of the equanimities. Then it's like maybe it's both you need to help. And when you analyze the both mind, both persons concerning, and both like kind of taking refuge into you, then it's like it's the same. Maybe also in the word of my perfect teachers, You think that my enemy, that my friend. In reality, maybe your enemy is your friend. Maybe worst giver of the negative things, your maybe friend. Maybe is the best giver of the liberation path. Maybe it's like a enemy side, enemy, not enemy. And this case is who is the enemy, who is a friend. We don't know it. But it's like we are big kind of mistake. It's very difficult to practice equanimity. When we are like kind of the holding to look after the equanimity to the sentient beings, that is the liberation. That is the Buddha's teaching. It is the wonderful. Then these the six transcendent perfections. We understood each kind of the categorization of six transcendent. Each six transcendent, there is three qualities. Yes, three qualities. We studied last time, I think, during the causalities. Yes or not? No, we studied some in some areas. Six, for example, generosity. Generosity has the three qualities. Yes, three qualities. It's a generosity antidote of the opposite of the generosities. The generosity is the kind of the maturations. Generosity is what? Forgot it? Each one has like the qualities. Development. Okay. Anyway, it is the six transcendent. It's we can to simply I would to say it's like first generosity. Are you doing something? Step by step. Patrul Rinpoche said it's like maybe it's like if you have 100 knots, maybe it's like 99% you keep yourself. Maybe 1% you should to do it. And physically, maybe your activity, physical activities, maybe it's 90% you keep. Maybe 10% can you spend benefit for others and to help to a little bit others. Maybe today it's like 12 hours, like 24 hours. During the 12 hours, maybe 20 minutes what I need to do something. Even you can do nice to service to the others tea. Wonderful. That is the during the day. Maybe if you have opportunities to kind of the to make or something happy through your body, through your kind of the positions. Even you can to say it's 100 manis recite one mala. You dedicate it to the wonderful. I make generosity. And I 10 times, 25, 100 times recite the money, Vajasava, Guru Rinpoche, or prayers, Shoncho Sancharum. I dedicate. It's generosity. Of course, really it's like someone say, I want to practice a fire puja. This is really big generosity. And these ones you do or not do. You doing the virtue, the bodily precipitation, circumambulation. Maybe today I have like maybe you money will in the hand money will. Yes, I did 10 times. You give to the sentient beings. Maybe, for example, we have in Dharma city, we have very huge Dharma wheel, and each wheel is like more, maybe it's like few billions, and go to the like one or two to make the like turn around to dedicate it. How much is the generosity to the sentient beings? And this sort of you is you really each moment to think generous. Then you are the really Dharma practitioner. But you know about the generosity. You know, generosity transcendent perfection. Yeah, there is, you know, like a kind of the big generosities, small generosities, like a little bit generosities. You know, there's generosity, like kind of the generosity of the big generosities. Like for example, it's like materials, like the generosities. Munji Pashab Jimbase. Sometimes you like generosity to save the lives. And then generosity is like kind of dharma generosity. Dharma generosity, last time we studied, you don't need to sit on the throne teaching. That is dharma generosity, not at all. When we go outside, you recite mani, Om mani padme hum. Whoever heard, they may there be the liberations. And absolutely, you study and memorize, practice, and these things are the Dhamma generosities, your dedications. And there's many different type of the generosities. This one is like to study. Okay, you have this notion, and after you really to bring into your path, then it's really Dharma practitioners. Discipline, transcendent perfections here. Of course, we're talking about 10 positive action, 10 negative action. This is principle, the discipline. Which moment is like kind of mindfulness. And it's like says, mindfulness put in the door of the mind. Then say the mindfulness, I'm watching you. And if you become the I will become big. You become samo, I will become the samo. If you become the negative, I will become negative. Whatever you become, it is like kind of I will become that. Mindfulness is like imitating or like kind of watching the mind, recognize how it's going to mind us. Then there's introspections and to change immediately. Like this all the times mindfulness that then it's like discipline what you studied, body, verb, mind disciplined. Principally connect to 10 positive actions. Then it's yes, that is wonderful. I need to keep like this and that each moment. Wonderful. And also the patience is the great patience. Patient like a kind of there's a patient like armored. Patience is like the kind of the such different things. There's a 3 type of the patience. Of course, there's many different, but it's a patient is the best. It's when you practice the patience, it's such a accumulation, Mary, such a great path of the liberations. Maybe it's like before you are more aggressive, very much kind of easily temperature, like it's coming hot temperatures. Maybe you studied Dharma, you understand other sentient being situations. Maybe easily you practice patience. For example, some great masters, ancient times, they keep very, very strange tendencies. These tendencies all the times provoke to the lamas. And then the lamas become very happy. And whatever they do, this tendency provocative. And if normal persons cannot to be like there is, because this person so like provocative. But then these practitioners be very happy. Each moment provoke, angry, and to bring practice patience, bring into the path. Then you are really Dharma practitioners. Excellent. And also diligent transcendence perfections here. Of course, there is each moment. Diligent means it's like when we are practice and like a kind of each moment, like normally we say, oh, now it's like my dharmic like times, spiritual times, and go to in the your shani room, put nice cushion, and then you open your book and then sit properly, then you recite or practice sadhana or something like this. That is like kind of your path. Sometimes you can't do, then I cannot to practice. It's like not like this. Really to the practitioner of the like Dharma diligently, and each moment when you're driving, when you be in the like office, even you are bathing, and even you are toileting, say, whatever you do, any kind of when you have the space timers, and you need to do so. There's one Tibet guy, he all the times recited the Tara mantra. This Tari Tari Tari. So they says, would you like a cup of tea? Tari Tari Tari. So tea is there. Tari Tari. So where is my cup? Tari Tari. So I go to shower. Tari Tari Tari. So okay, bye bye. See you later. Tari Tari Tari. So like this. And one is this person's diet is like this, just a normal person, but something very special sign rainbow is like this. Then is you don't need to go to the some in the specific solitude place and remote. No need that. Each moment there is like kind of to practice the diligently to practice dharma, and very easy like this. Then concentration meditation said concentration transcendent perfection is like each moment maybe you can to think non-conceptualization. He said the stain is like stained, calm and profound, and this one is like each moment. For example, how much it is the benefit. For example, your sweet water, it comes from this in the your hair, this sweet drop of water falling into your lap. This during these durations you maintain your the transic awareness or the non-conceptualizations. It's inconceivable like kind of the purifications, and even these durations. Of course, if you can to maintain the non-conceptualizations, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 seconds, or maybe it's like how much is the benefit. And this one is like specifically see it and then you want to catch it. It's not. It is the if you practice the really the great Mahayana great perfections, and each moment everything yesterday say it's to the bring into the path. Each movement, each expressions, each place, it's your place. No, the like a meditation place. Whatever the movement, positive or negative, is your path. You understand the non-conceptual essential nature of the realities. That is the meditative concentrations. Of course, wisdoms is each moment to clarify it, listen to Dharma, and also it's like you really to develop the your this wisdom. How do you say wisdoms? And the transcendent perfection of the wisdoms. Someone's good. I saw one Kembo, very learned, as extraordinary. He's sitting like this. Everywhere is his book. He's on the table, and then is when we during in the conversation, he's concerning, and then he's pick up as reading, and then it's certainly put breath. All the time there's each moment is like concerning. Like this. For ourselves, when we go to in the teaching place, we are make notes, listen, and come back close, never watch, never reveal again. Like Sam myself, this like yesterday we read our Sheda books. Is even I wrote word by word, word by word I typed it, but looks like forgot it, difficult to remember. Like this, never again. Like this, if you want to more develop the transcendent perfection of the wisdoms, each moment to memorize. Maybe it's like, this is now I have the maybe 20 minutes. There is easily to pick up the book, and then there's maybe you see that one quotation. Maybe you memorize the first line. And this is like each moment they do like this, and then you are really on the path of the Dharma practice. I think I'm very much talkative, but that is the liberation path. We need to remind again. Really, if you want to practice Dharma, if you don't want to really to practice Dharma, you want to only to get the knowledge. For example, this morning we are researching a lot of birds, animals' nose, and so on. Oh, yeah, we understood, but which kind of benefit? Okay, we are curiosities, animals' shape, color, nose, ears, size. Okay, that's I don't know. This is liberation path. The really we are talking about now is the liberation path. The liberation path is like there's a categorizations: 10 positive actions for boundless qualities, 6 transcendent perfections. How we are daily practice. That is the most important. But now it's also coffee time. Half an hour, so we need to stop.